Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I would like to do a little card pull to finish out our week. You might not be watching this on a Friday, but it's being filmed on a Friday, and it's the end of the work week, so let's see what the universe has to say today. Okay, so we're back on. We were pulling new cards for a while, but we drew this card a couple weeks ago. Everything's just blending together. I don't really know. So we drew the boundaries card. And where do you need to establish better boundaries? And so we've talked about, you can go back and watch the other boundary videos, but we have talked about drawing boundaries with others and drawing energetic boundaries. But let's talk about drawing boundaries for ourselves, within ourselves, for our own actions. And this is something that I've been feeling personally, and it's so funny because, this what I have been contemplating is essentially boundaries within myself. And, specifically, I have been not taking care of my body. I mean, I haven't been like throwing it totally to the wind, but I haven't been taking care of myself in the nutrition and exercise department in the way that I normally like to. And now, yes, I do think that life is life is ebb and flow, and it kind of does go along with diet and nutrition and exercise. And even though every expert will say it's a lifestyle, and yes, of course it is a lifestyle, and that lifestyle that I have had implemented is what has helped me not to completely throw everything to the wind. However, I am just not on my game in those departments the way I like to be. I am off kilter, and I have seen it and felt it, and that is something that I want to get back and work get back to a place that I like to be at. And I have just recently been contemplating, exactly where I'm going wrong and the way I want to correct it. And luckily, I have been into wellness for a very, very long time now. I probably over 10 years. It's been a personal journey of mine, and it has been a personal passion of mine. So I am very lucky in the sense that in these specific areas, I know what I need to do and I know what I like to do. So it's not exactly like I'm completely lost and floundering. And having that knowledge was able to help me to pinpoint in the exact areas that I'm going wrong, because like I said, I do have a built-in lifestyle, so it's not exactly like I'm starting from scratch, which is great. But some of the things that I have been places that I have been going wrong, the way that I can correct them is, in a sense, drawing boundaries for myself. It is the boundary of, even though, I might be tired or I might be stressed out, it doesn't mean that I can overindulge, or that just because I am in a position where I'm getting home late at night, it doesn't mean that, I can't still try and make my dinner a little bit more healthy. But at the same time, I do think that at this time in my life, there are other places that my energy needs to go right now, and I am going to be accepting of that. But at the same time, I do kind of want to start to draw those boundaries for myself, to maybe set a few things that I would like to do and then to do them. And that is a boundary. You may think that a boundary is a no, and it is that separation, and sometimes it is. Sometimes you need to say no with other people and everything like that, but sometimes a boundary is something like we're talking about, a boundary for yourself. And it is a no, in a sense, like of a, no, I'm not going to act this way. I'm going to act this way. And a lot of times, and it's specifically with what we're talking about right now with myself, sometimes it's not, the no's aren't exactly what is going to get you to the place you want to be, but it is adding in, or it is an instead of, like for example, instead of having ice cream for dessert, I'm going to have a piece of fruit because I would like to add in some more fruit. And that is a good way, that is a good thing to replace. So that can be a boundary. And we all, I think that this card is coming up, and I felt intuitively that it fit for my life, so hopefully it will fit for you too. If you are watching this video, then you were meant to watch it, and you can start to reflect about where you need more boundaries. And like I said, you can go back and watch my other boundary videos to talk about boundaries with other people and energetic boundaries, but I want to talk about yourself. Where can you start to set more boundaries for yourself? Where do you think that you are overdoing it or overindulging? And we think of sometimes, when you say the word indulging, you think about something that it's a more, for pleasure. But sometimes you are overdoing it or indulging in other places. Are you overdoing it at work? Are you overdoing it at night trying to get too much stuff done, which is causing you not to get enough sleep? Are you overdoing it, like me in the dessert department? Are you overdoing it, or do you need to start to set more of a boundary for yourself with physical activity? The boundary is, okay, I'm going to get this physical activity in no matter what. And, specifically when you're talking about physical activity, it is something to add in, but you might want to look at it on a weekly basis as opposed to something as stringent as on a daily basis. So you're like, I'm going to get out, exercise for an hour every single day from now on. That is not exactly realistic, and you are kind of setting yourself up for failure. So you really want to set yourself up for success, where you might want to say, okay, I want to get a total of 4 hours of exercise this week. And chunking it down by this week can help you to be a little bit more flexible and be a little bit more forgiving. Because even though you are setting these boundaries and you have goals that you want to attain, you want to understand where you are in life right now. What does your life look like right now? Is it really feasible for you to be exercising for an hour every day? What would you be cutting out? What would you be sacrificing? Sleep? Sleep is not something that should be sacrificed to exercise. And I'm saying that flat out. Sleep is so important. So if you're thinking that you're going to go to bed at the same time and you're just going to get up an hour earlier to get that hour of exercise in, I encourage you to rethink that. And if that is where you want to find it in your day, then find the time at night so you can then be going to bed an hour earlier. Do not sacrifice sleep. Sleep is, you need that boundary of your sleep. We are sleep deprived in this world because of our lifestyle, and pushing your body to do something physical when you don't have adequate sleep is only going to stress your body out. And just not to go off on a tangent, but when you're stressed out and you're exercising, your cortisol levels spike, and it makes your body conserve energy and not burn energy. So I encourage you to not sacrifice your sleep. That is a boundary that I draw all the time. Almost nothing gets in the way of my sleep. I prioritize it over everything, pretty much. So you can start to reflect about where you need to set more personal boundaries for yourself. You know, are you overworking? Are you going after that side hustle a little too much right now? You know, just reanalyze your life. This card is telling us to reanalyze, and the fact that we've drawn it multiple times and we've been able to talk about different aspects of boundaries shows how important boundaries are right now, because there is a lot of chaos right now. There's a lot going on in the world right now, which is probably trickling into your personal life. So these boundaries are what is going to help us to move through this time with the least amount of suffrage and the most amount of ease and grace as divinely possible, because they help. It trickles into other aspects of your life. Everything is connected. So when you start to set better boundaries, you know, say you watch today's video and you start to set better boundaries with yourself, that could trickle into better mental health, better spiritual health. We've talked about hygiene in those areas. That can help to take better care of those areas. Where does that trickle into? Are you a better friend? Are you a better partner? Are you a better worker? Are you a better sibling? Are you a better parent or child? Whatever it is, those things, and you don't have to worry about the trickle in and be like, you know, oh, I want it to trickle into this area, so I'm going to do this and hope that it trickles in. Just let the trickle flow. But bring your awareness to where in your life with yourself personally do you want to set better boundaries. Really reflect on it. And you know, because it's really easy to point the finger when we're talking about setting boundaries with other people. Well, I'm going to tell them that I no longer want to do this, or I need to draw this boundary with them. I'm going to draw this boundary. But I think right now it's really important to go within and to look inside of yourself and ask yourself where you need to be setting better boundaries with yourself, with your damn self. Joking. I don't really mean that. But yeah, so I'm going to end it here, but this is our beautiful boundary card, and I encourage you to look within yourself and see where you can set better boundaries. I'm going to continue to do the same. It's just funny, it's kind of something that I was already doing, but I didn't realize that it was boundaries within myself is what it was that I needed to set, and that is kind of the label on it. But here it is. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Anne, and I hope to see you next time.